all right. Welcome to another Let's Talk with the Doc, my friends. Good things come to those who wait. And I can tell you, we have been waiting. We have been waiting, and everybody's been waiting that to see Brother Glenn, the inimitable Glenn, join us tonight. Unfortunately, to start, we are not going to have the music emphasis that we were hoping for, but I promise you that he's going to come back when we get all the technicalities sorted out and we're going to get an understanding of why this man is such a dynamic musician. So we're going to talk about his story. When I come back, I will talk to Glen Johnson, and his wonderful wife is next to him, and there's a secret to be revealed later on. All right, but when I come back, we will talk to Glen Johnson. Stay tuned, my friends. Now let's start with that. ORB Ministry presents Let's Talk with the Doc. Grace Without Borders podcast. A thought for you. Ask Pastor. And a whole lot more. You never know what's next or who will join the conversation. All right, so here we are. Glen Johnson.
Yes,
Welcome
Doc.
to welcome to Let's Talk with the Doc. Man, it is good to have you. I know we have been waiting and I know you have been trying. I've never had a guest who tried as hard to get things sorted out to be on Let's Talk with the Doc. And unfortunately, some things you have no control over and it didn't work for this time. But my friends, I promise you, when we get Brother Glenn back, he's gonna have all the musical what do you call it now? Additions or what? Give me a word for that. Uh,
The
the
full gamut.
the full gamut. All right, the full gamut of his skills. But for now, we're gonna find out who is Glen Johnson. Who is Glen Johnson? And a lot of people know Glen Johnson because of his keyboard, but the average person don't know somebody's story, even though you know them, see them all these decades. You don't know what their stories are and how they grew up to be where they are. What inspires, what motivates them, what triggers, what bring them to where they are. So that's why we talk about stories, and let's talk with the doc. And just FYI, sitting next to him, his darling wife. We were in grade what we call it, we don't call it grade one back then. We call it what we used to call it then. Junior one.
I think it was grade one.
Yeah, grade one and junior one and junior two.
From grade one to I think grade five.
Okay, I see the microphone is breaking up again there, Glenn. You see something is wrong with that mic?
Breaking up again?
Yeah, it's popping out again. So
Wow.
yeah, it's giving the same sound again. Yeah. You know what? I think we're gonna have a problem with the microphone. You better just switch and use the camera. Use the other phone so
Okay.
we can tap in with that one, and then let's access you because we want to hear you. Who is that? Bishop Dr. Derek Knowles already joined us. This man is such an important man in the kingdom of God. We're gonna have to, let's see. Let's pull that one in. You're gonna put that on your standard somewhere so we can hear you through that one. We're gonna give you time to make the adjustment because we want to hear you clearly, and that microphone is failing us. So, my friends, Let me play something until Glenn figure that out. I come back. We will pick it up right there. Give him a chance to figure that out. It's been a night of technical difficulties. Like it's like Beryl is passing around here and causing all kind of havoc. But we will make it through this one. All right, we are testing to see if you are ready. Still working on it? Oops. uh, Good things come to those who wait, and we are still waiting. All right. Your microphone didn't come back on, right? It's been one of those days. It's been one of those days. All right, you know, open up your microphone on your phone now so we can hear the microphone on the phone. Oh, dear Lord.
Presents Truth Matters. Join the Truth Matters panel for discussion on issues of the times with host Dr. Orville Beckford Sr. and his panel consisting of Bishop Ishmael Charles,
Minister Ashana Knight, Bishop Woodrow Thompson,
Dr. Danette Ming, Bishop Anthony Campbell, and Pastor Shelley Antoni. Nothing is off limits for discussion. Follow ORB Ministries on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And be ready for the next hot topic on Truth Matters.
All right, let's see where we are now. Are we ready now? Okay, I can hear you now. I can see you.
Really? Okay.
If we can stabilize the camera, then we're good.
Oh my
You
goodness.
want to cut your head off a little bit, just oops. All right. If you can keep it right there.
Uh, oh, wow. What a night.
All right. Can we keep it there now?
Yeah, we'll try. We will try to keep it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Good. Stand by them. Yes, sir. So,
All right. Okay. You can manage it. You can manage it.
um, we'll do the best we can. Let me see if I could.
We can
Oh,
put it somewhere you can keep it there to stabilize because your tripod not working. So everything is happening tonight, right? Everything is happening.
everything,
You know.
everything.
All right. So let's keep it right there. Let's. All right. Welcome to Let's Talk with the Doc. Good to have you,
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
man. It's been my pleasure to have you, and I've anticipated. I have anticipated having you on Let's Talk with the Doc, and I know what I anticipated and what I expected, and we're gonna promise that when we come back another time, when you see the name Glen Johnson come back up, that he's gonna join me on Let's Talk with the Doc. That means we get all these technicalities figured out because you know that he's a top class musician and music teacher. Everybody know that by now, unless you never know Glenn Johnson. But tonight, because of the technicalities and the difficulties, we're gonna just get to hear his story. So we're gonna find out something about Glenn Johnson. So tell us, Glenn, where were you born? Because a lot of us see you and we just get engulfed with the music. Whenever I say, who is this guy? Where is he from? Where was his starting point? So tell us where were you born and what were things like when in your early life?
Okay. All right. Once again, may I say to my listeners, we are so sorry we had technical problem all week. We've been sorting this out, but we promise we're gonna make it up to you. We're gonna be good. All right. So, Glen Johnson. I was born in a very little district in Clarendon North,
Oh, you're from
way up.
Clarendon. I didn't even know you were from Clarendon. That's number one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, God has blessed Clarendon so much with a lot of musicians coming out of Clarendon.
There's
But
no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that for sure.
I was born way up in the hills, probably about 2,000 feet above sea level, somewhere about that. At a little district in North Clarendon called Collington.
Okay.
Right. I usually tell people that that district is not on the map of Jamaica. You try to search for it and we couldn't find it. Collington. You may see Mears, Clarendon, or Trout Hall, Clarendon, but it's
Trout
right.
Hall. I know. By the way, I know Trout. I walked through Trout Hall.
Wow.
I walked from James Hill through Trout Hall to Chapelton.
Wow.
Because my roots is from Clarendon to Sander River, Retford, coming up to James Hill.
What? This is news to me.
That's my family. My mother is a Clarendonian. So
okay. All right. So if you were in Trout Hall and look up in the hills there, that's where I'm from, Collington. And let me tell you, a lot of people wouldn't believe anything good could come out of Clarendon.
Anything good can come out of Nazareth, right?
Yes. But anyway, I was born to my mother and father were Christians, not just Christian, but my mother was an evangelist, and she's the one who started the Church of God of Prophecy up in Collington.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She actually, the family was a miracle in that she was unable to have children. But she made, like Hannah, she made a vow and
Wow.
told God, if you give me children, I'll give them back to you.
Hold a second. All right, things just start interesting just from the beginning. So keep it going.
So at 38, she had her first child when
Wow.
she was supposed to be stopping. And then at 42, I came along.
Wow.
And then at 44, another boy came along. And then at 46,
Wow.
another boy came along.
What?
Yeah, so that's how it started. And why is it the church is on our property? I found out, she didn't say it, but I think that was part that she had now to train these boys up, go, and so the church. I grew up in church actually, so God had gifted me with music from down in age 4, I think. There was a man with a guitar, and he plays guitar. And first time I heard a guitar, I fell in love with it. And my mother read music, choir, all parts. She read what we call in the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So that's what she would use and work out that. And so she would train the choir in Collington, and I would watch her children's choir and the adult choir. So most of the songs that from early, that was from her. My
So your mother was a musician?
She didn't play an instrument. The gifting was with her. She learned how to read, how to sight
What?
read, sight sing. I don't know where she got that gift from. Use that to train people.
So she could read the music but didn't play any instrument?
But once it's written, she could read it.
Wow.
She could sing the soprano part, the alto part, the tenor part, and yeah. So the gift about my father also, he played a little guitar. Yeah.
I mean, I never know that that was possible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, some people's voices are their instrument, the musical instrument. So in that case, you have to be able to manipulate notes. Just read the music.
So give me an insight. I mean, we haven't even talked about your early days, because all we heard is, from 4 you get a musician, you becoming a musician. So I'm a little bit curious back into the story part about your mother, who weren't able to have children, or struggled to have children until
Yeah.
later in her life.
Right.
Started the church up in your community, prayed like Hannah to beseech God to give her a child, and if God blessed her with a child, she would give the child back to him like Hannah promised.
Yeah.
And then you in the ladder, you were the second child.
Yeah, I was the second one.
You're the second child, and you and
Right.
and you born with a desire for music.
Innate. It's just born in me. God deposited that.
Man, I want to hear your story so loud and clear with such clarity, because that is just interesting. We just started, and friends are popping in here because everybody knew you were going to be on the program. And story about our aunt. I saw my aunt. I don't even know who's that family member coming on there, but this is interesting. This is interesting that did she ever tell you that you were the one she was giving back to the Lord, or did she give your other brother to the Lord, or how did that part go?
All of us were given back.
Oh,
All.
so as they came, she gave them back.
Right. You have no choice.
So because you're a musician, give me an insight into how this works. That she could manipulate reading music, she could give you the tenor, the alto, whatever section of the music without being able to play the instrument. What kind of skill does that require?
Yeah. Well, back in those days, if you look in the old hymnal, you see some notes that have different shapes.
I know
Different.
the notes. I know the musical notes and stuff like that. You can look at the book and you see all those clefs and
Yeah.
all them stuff.
But the different notes had different shapes.
Right.
So a particular shape meant that's a do. Shape meant that's a re, whatever it is. So
Mhm.
to use that. Now today we don't have shape notes anymore, but I could look at a piece and just sing it right off the page. Something that I never knew before.
Wow.
So but I was trained for that. Come just like that. I mean, I had it in me, but then I can't. But we'll get to all of that.
Wow. Wow. My friends, I'm having a late start with Glen Johnson, and you can notice his camera is shaking because we've done everything for the past 3 days to get everything fixed for tonight, and even up to 1 hour later than we should have started. We still had some issues with technicalities and engineering stuff and all of that stuff. But we are promising you that Glenn is gonna come back when all things are together, and he's gonna show off his music, because the rest of us know this is one of the greatest musicians that the Church of God of Prophecy have seen, at least in the Western world that we know of. All right, he might not want to own up to it, but the rest of us know it. Okay, the rest of us know it. And
Oh,
now I'm beginning to find out where it actually started. All right, so keep it going, keep it going.
okay. I had such a desire to play music. I didn't have anyone nearby who could teach me music, especially. So what I did, I got a piece. I don't know if you know bamboo from your area.
Oh yeah, I used to play bamboo back in. I used to make my own bamboo guitar. So
Okay, good. So you know the bamboo guitar, and I would
yeah,
take the string, take the skin up, put pieces of
uh-huh,
stick under the
yeah,
top piece and
yeah.
under the bottom piece in church.
Shave it
But
down with a piece of battle, and shave it up with battle so it's nice and smooth.
yeah,
Been
right,
there, done
exactly.
that.
And I would play out church. Nobody heard me. Nobody heard my music when the singing started. But I think I know one person who heard. That's the good Lord.
The Heavenly Father, right?
Yes, yes, yes. He was the one. He heard. So um, it so happened that one day my father migrated to England. The story. A lot of
England story, the
shipped
England
over to
story. Yeah.
ride. Yeah, the wind rush and all that kind of stuff. He had to go 4 boys to deal with, so he had to make that move. My mother was there. I had to. We had to do right in the matter. But one day she came and say, you know what, boys, um, we didn't know anything, but we just got a truck. The following day came up and removed all our stuff out of the house and drove to Penance. don't know if you ever heard of penance.
We, we know penance. I know penance.
Okay. Yeah, so we moved to penance. And that time, my father came back home, and but before the organ came, I graduated from and start making fishing line guitars.
Okay. All right.
A piece, I'll get a piece of wood, piece of board, starting can onto the board, get some beef, corned beef keys.
Can't be yeah. Been no. I know
Yeah,
that. I know that part. Believe me. Believe me. I know that part.
right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, and so that, that was, and I started playing again. My little hear me anyway. But then my mother saw a friend in the community made a ukulele for himself. So my mother asked him if he could, and he said sure. And he and gave it to me and showed me two chords on the ukulele, and that music. I I advanced, but nobody could tell me that I was not trained to play that. Or the 4 little string ukulele, and I got really good, and people started. But it so happened that I called Ettrick Hall, where my grandmother, my godmother lived summer with her. So this summer I went, left my guitar at my and went to go on holidays. When I came back, nobody can tell me where my ukulele is. I
What?
got furious. So somebody had to tell the story. Some neighbor was cooking their pig food, couldn't find to cook the pig's food. So what they did, they chopped up my.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Um, you know, I was furious.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding me?
And that's how my ukulele ended.
Somebody took the strings of a ukulele and you ukulele to cook hog food.
Yes,
That is almost like blasphemy.
yeah, of course, sacrilege. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Wow,
goodness! Wow.
that was that that was painful. But I my father came home and brought the organ. You know those old pedal organ, pump
And
air
brought you
into
an
it.
organ.
Yeah, you had to pump air into it, and so I decided I am going to play this instrument. My father, he would go on it sometime, try to
But
play a
that's the
little
one
bit.
that's the one you have to pedal to get it to you have to pedal it to get it
Yeah, to
to
sound.
breathe, right? It's to sound. Man, I tell you, I'm coming from far as well. Trust me.
Goodness. So
Wow.
I said, I am going to play this instrument. And I would get on that every day I come from school, I would be on that. On that till my mother started getting annoyed with me and say, you're playing this organ at night. And I say, okay, turn the light off. So I turned the light off and continue practicing in the dark. Now
Wow.
I can play with my eyes closed.
Wow. What age that was?
That was like 10, 11.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You can play the organ with your eyes closed from you are 10.
Oh yeah, the circumstance.
Oh my
so
goodness. Oh my goodness.
so that
Oh
was a
my
rough
goodness.
story, right?
What were your other brothers or your other siblings? What were they doing? Anybody is a musician as well or what?
No, well, the one that followed me, Ivor. Now, he is the parish director for Clarendon, music director. He's been
Oh,
that,
okay. Okay.
yeah. But the other two brothers, they sang. The first one, and they were singers. I didn't
No,
get
they were singers. Okay.
that.
You didn't get the singing.
No.
Okay, everybody can get everything. I gave Ping account to several abilities, so we can understand that.
So so early by the time I reached I think 12 and 14, I was already playing to school. The principal would ask me to play for devotion. So I had to learn all my songs, all those hymns. I had to play them using my 145. You know my 145.
So were you playing from the book that time?
Um, I bought a couple of books and was teaching myself. I thought apart because the church bought a guitar, and that was the one I went and bought some books for. So I learned the guitar. I don't know if you know that I am a guitarist. I'm not sure if you know that.
I
Um,
well, I didn't have any time to know that. I didn't have any time because
yeah,
when I got to know you maybe about 1990, you were really far gone past guitar by then.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I learned the guitar and I did pretty well on the guitar those days. So all across North North Clarendon, rallies and stuff, everybody would send for me. I would have to play the churches. Yeah, but in the meantime, I was at church. Well, the organ. By then they had bought the upright piano,
Hmm.
and I was able at that time to play the piano. So, but I couldn't travel with the piano around the
Obviously,
church.
obviously, yeah.
Right. So that worked out pretty good for me. Um, so during that time, I think when I was 14, I met a guy named Tony Hutton.
Tony was on here a while ago. He said the great. He was on here, and maybe still on there too.
All right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
saw I saw him earlier making comment. Maybe the greatest musician or something like that. I forget what he said.
Oh yeah, me and Tony went back from
Yeah, he did say
way
one. He
back.
said one of the greatest, and one of the greatest. Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, of course, Tony is one of the greatest bass. But we started from when we were boys. Convention,
Wow.
yeah. And then the North Clarendon conventions.
Inside the zone with Dennis is here too. Let me apologize again for we've been trying for the past 4 days to get Glenn to show off his music. We just couldn't get the sound coming from his side properly, so we started late because of that. But I promise you, we're gonna get back Glenn here with the full gamut. He says the full gamut. We're gonna have a night of him showing off those skills from 3, 4 years old up to God knows where he's at 99 right now. So
Oh yeah, I'm way up there now.
so I can't wait. We're just getting the story of how all these unfold. So go ahead.
Yeah, so to help my mother with the choir at at Penance because she
So your mother moved from the little community where you were and moved to Penance, and then she was pastoring in Penance as well.
no, she wasn't pastoring. She was the choir.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
She herself and Deacon Palmer. So she would deal with the children and the adult choir. But then I had to play for yeah. So so I was well utilized because um, Deacon Palmer played the guitar, but he didn't play the guitar. So I was able to handle the piano part of everything. But those in church, we couldn't have drums.
You couldn't have
Drums
drums?
were not, drums were
Really?
not allowed in on a Sunday morning service.
Really?
Yeah, no drums allowed.
What was it?
Sunday
What
night,
was it? What was it? What the reason given behind that? Ungodly? What was it?
yeah, the saying was Sunday morning service. Solemn, no drums, no cymbals, no
Really?
tambourines,
Oh, really?
just the piano and voices.
Wow.
Yes.
I never heard that one in the Church of God of Prophecy. I've never heard that one.
It was Sunday nights now. We could go to town with everything we wanted.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Right.
goodness.
Wow. Yes, yes, sir. I was able to help out in the church and then later on in charge of the young people choir. So my mother was doing the was Deacon Palmer was doing the adult choir, and the kids who came out of the children's choir becoming adults now, those wings. And I'm sure that some of those people are probably out there, right? But we had a very good youth choir at Penance. And those days, sometimes they would ask the choir to sing. I don't know if you remember back in those days. So we tape our music and send it in, and they would put yes. So later now, they I was asked to be the director for music for Clarendon entire
Parish.
yeah, the entire parish. And then myself and by that time myself and two good friends, and so he invited me one year to national convention. That's down at Maxwell Avenue. And so I went. I can't remember what year that was. I went with my the church guitar.
So that may have been like about 73 for, maybe,
Yeah,
because that was early back down in Maxwell Avenue. That was
in the 70s.
way back in the 70s.
Yeah, early 70s. Yeah. So, with Tony, and let me tell you, excuse me, scoring. Where this country boy come from? The guitar. And the guy say, you holding the guitar like you holding knife and they laughed me to scorn, man. Man, I felt so embarrassed. But, yeah, but I said no.
I am so apologetic because we're not getting your sound as clean as we wanted to because of all of the technical difficulties. Oh my God, I wanted to hear this so long because this is so fascinating. I wish we were hearing everything. You know, lots of people in the early days, Sight Reed, Tony saying here. Well, fascinating, fascinating. All right, I'm talking to Glen Johnson, the inimitable, the maestro, Glen Johnson,
Yeah,
the master of music. I
I
mean,
know
I
that
can
fancy stuff.
yeah, I know all the accolades I could give to Johnson, to Glenn, and some. I could give him all of those and some. And he might be the
Right.
only one who don't want to own up to it. I can tell you that. Everybody else will own up to that in a jiffy.
Yeah.
Because when we say Glenn Johnson back then, it was something different. All right.
Wow.
So give us the story coming up until how it unfolded but by the way, did you pursue, did you think of anything else in your life? Did you ever want to become anything other than a musician? Did you struggle, we say I want to be this, I wanted to be this, but just music is holding me hostage? Which one?
Yes. Okay. I went to high school and in Frankfield. It was called Frank Comprehensive High School at the time. Excuse me. It was a teacher came from England. Dennis, and we call him Skip. It's a white guy. He saw me with a guitar one day, and he came over to me and said, "Yeah, say, wait, I'm a drummer." He said, "Look, we need to start a little band, man." So I said, "All
Just
right,
just just a drum and just a drum and a guitar?
huh?
Just a drum and a
Yeah." I
guitar?
said, "All right." Now he said he's going to send to England for his drum.
Oh wow.
Took him a while to get the drum, but we kind of hook up together, and we had one singer. Um, Grace away a few years back. Um, yeah, so we started our little band, and we got a few other guys, students out of a high school. He was just out of college, so he was much older than us. Young guy. But when he came and the drums came, we realized a very established jazz drummer.
Oh.
I don't know if you met him because I brought him down to Maxwell Avenue. I don't know if you were around those days.
I mean, I've been around a long time ago, but I wouldn't recall that,
That
because I wasn't in the field of music too back then. Because I've been around
yeah,
from the early 70s. So anything after that, I would have been around.
right. Convention a few times with me, and boy, that's how drumming started. Got a prophecy.
Oh
He
wow.
really made an impact. Yeah. So it was that time when if I was if I had problem with any other, yeah, I wanted to do medicine.
Hmm.
I was a corps also at Frankfield. I was a cadet, so I had my eyes on the military too.
Hmm.
So I had the three M's: music and military.
So you music, military, and medicine.
Yes.
That is M and M.
MM, MM. Well, I didn't go to medicine, but of course my daughter got it.
Okay, good for her. Good for
Yeah,
her.
yeah. But in my friend, he said, "You know what? You better do." And he drove me from Clarendon, right? Signed me up. by himself. He and everything. And I said, okay, I am going to go into music. Tell you something. That was one of the toughest decisions I made. That I was going to go into music. She was not a very happy woman. She was not
So
happy.
that was your mother.
Yeah.
So okay, so she wanted you to do medicine,
Medicine.
and
Anything but music.
and you were, and wow. I mean, I'm kind of curious about that, because if she was so into it and
Yeah.
ingrained that into your system, she was so musically inclined, though she didn't play the instrument. How was she so against you going to music? Was that because she didn't think it was something, a career to pursue, or what was it?
Oh, because they're in Clarendon, you don't find people who are musicians by profession. It was a hobby. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Right.
So
So I think
she
from that
thought nothing was
aspect.
going to come out of her son.
Yeah. So actually, what she said is that I good at music. I am going to go on the other side. So you say I'm going to be playing with Marley and all those guys.
Okay, okay. So she thought you're
Yeah.
going to backslide. You're going to go astray if you go. Okay, all right, all right.
Right. And of course, she because the promise that she made, she had to make sure we stay on the street.
Get you,
You
get you,
see that?
get you, get you, get you, get you,
Right.
get you.
So
She can afford to let God down. So therefore, she's doing all she can to keep you in the straight and narrow.
then my pastor, P.N. Graham, was the same thing. Looking for a little support. He said, "No, sir, I don't support you going. They tell me anything happened to you, don't come back home." So, oh my goodness, that's that. But listen now, when I went to Kingston, sign up on me in within 2 months, all my money, every penny, I can't go back home. School fee. What am I going to do? Uh, that they had a student concert at the school. I am going to play. So I I had to go to my friend in Clarendon and ask him if I could borrow his guitar. And he let me borrow the guitar. Les Paul Custom. That he brought it from England. Yeah. So the student concert and decided I'm going to play called Mr. Bojangles. At the time I had a tutor from named Jan Topscott. And he was teaching me to because guitar skills were pretty good. So they exempted me studying the guitar course that the school offered. And when I played my first two notes, jumped out of her seat, screaming. This was one of those top pianists from Europe. And I am playing a rock style guitar. She's only a classical person.
Uh-huh.
And she enjoyed it so much. The following day, she called me into her. I was wondering, well, what did I do? And so she said, I didn't know you could play guitar that good. Because to go into the school. So she said, we have an opening for a guitar tutor.
Hmm.
Do you?
Wow.
And that's how I got opening doors for me.
They had an opening at the school
Yeah,
for a guitar tutor. What
right.
what what age were you at that time?
Oh boy. I was early 20.
How about
I
early
probably
20s?
no 19. I was
Wow.
19 at the time. Yeah.
And how did that go? How did you respond to that, and where did that go from there?
I said, my goodness, look up, and I was able to teach some of the students my batch. See,
Wow.
so that went on pretty good. Students who came to the African American division of the school, I was able to teach them how to play guitar. And
Wow. Were you were you were you
yeah,
were you playing by ear, or you were playing notes and all of that stuff by that time?
I was mainly playing chords, the guitar,
Okay.
but I was learning to read from my tutor
Right.
to read
Right.
guitar music. So we had some tough pieces I had to learn.
Wow.
So I managed to scrape through my first year at the Jamaican School of Music.
Scrape through.
Yeah,
Scrape through.
scrape. Yeah, but that was a good course, because one of my tutors. Um, yeah, and all of my tutors now. But I was doing classical piano at the time too.
Wow.
Yeah. So at that time also, well, slightly before I went into School of Music, Branches of the Vine. I don't know if you remember that group.
I know that name rings a bell into my head right away.
Yeah. So they called me. They called me, and I went with them for just a little bit. By the time I started with them, Tony Tony came and said, "Man, insights." At that time, insights were just coming out, and so I say, "All right, okay, insights." So I was with them. I don't think you know that I was with insights.
No, no, I,
No.
I wasn't, I wasn't, I wasn't following Glenn that time. I wasn't, I wasn't, I was up in the St. Andrew side of town. I wasn't too much musically inclined to, get around the musicians and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of missed that moment.
Yeah, right. So now we are with again. Okay. Yes. So also during that time, it was when Moss came to Jamaica
Hmm.
to be the new overseer,
That was Alvin Moss,
Alvin Moss. So
right?
so he heard about me and appointed the national music director for Church of God of Prophecy. So I was doing Insights, God of Prophecy at the same time. But my stay with Insight wasn't too long. At the same time, Noel Willis from Grace.
Here comes Grace Chillers now.
So that I was a guitar player. So I went there to play guitar. But then he heard somehow I was. He said, "Hey, you are a pianist. You're not a guitar player. Okay, we need a piano player." I said,
Wow.
"No, man, you can play the guitar. I want you I want, and that started a whole new, which I don't know if you want to continue from there. And I,
you've been part of almost all of the groups,
yeah,
all the popular well known groups back in
right,
Jamaica back then.
except for Sunshine Sing and some Wisdom's group.
Sam Wisdom, I remember that one too.
Yeah, right. But all
Wow.
the other groups, yeah.
Wow. My friends, I'm talking to the inimitable Glen Johnson. And now I am just hearing the journey of his story. I am just hearing the journey of the story. I mean, I wasn't a Clarendonian from Penance or Chapeltown Trout. I wasn't one of the guy who were running around with the young man growing up as a musician, so I can know the details. I know when I knew Glenn when he got really big, and was like, okay, when he was coming to convention or anything, it was like, okay, the announcement is made. Glenn is gonna be here Saturday, or Glenn is gonna be here Thursday night. And so
Oh my God.
everybody was kind of anticipating when Glenn shows up, and the rest of it is history. All right, so the young man is making strides. What was going on with your siblings then? Family dynamics. How were you just pursuing that by your own? Who else were involved? Were some of your siblings singing in the groups that you were part of, or they were doing their own thing?
No, they were all doing their own thing. I was the only one in Kingston. And
Okay, all right. So you leave country, come to big city,
I
big
come to
town. Okay,
Kingston.
all right.
So I, I was, of course, the mass choir started because
Mm-hmm.
I took over. There was Pearl Hall before me,
Pearl
and then
Hall,
we
yeah.
came on the scene, and I took over from, and so that was the time we started having national conventions. We had
So so you,
national.
well, I don't know if you remember that, but I used to sing in the National Chorale when Pearl Hall was the director.
Wow.
I used to sing in the National Chorale and she was the
Okay.
director. One of the songs I can't forget is On Christ, the solid rock
Yeah.
I stand. All of the ground is sinking sun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those were the days.
My wife and I used to be on the National Choir. That was before we were married. So that's a long time ago and we were really young people.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, when we went to the national arena now, that's when I took things over to know how big the choir was at that time.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because we took up of the national arena. Those days we had a company called Audio Sound every year. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the choir took up one, that was that was very close to 1,000 voices. And those days when the choir sang, wow, the kind of stuff
I,
they
I, I remember I remember the National Chorale days. I remember that. I remember that. I remember those days, man. But I wasn't
yeah,
paying I wasn't paying much attention to the music. I was paying more attention to the singing.
to the singing. Okay, so Tony,
Yeah.
those are the days of Tony would play bass, and we have David Johnson who would be
David
playing
Johnson, Tony, and
right.
eventually my guy came on with the drums. Danny
Danny
came
came
on
on with the
later on
drums,
with the
right,
drums later on.
right.
Those time this time Jamaica was Trinidad God Press was hot,
Oh
really
yeah,
really
oh
hot.
yeah. Those were some very very good days.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, man. But then shortly after all of this, one day I was walking to Jamaica School of Music. I lived on Hope Road,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's an old Hope Road.
All up road,
Yeah,
right?
and I was walking down through Swallowfield, uh, as a show to the Cultural Training Center, and this morning, and I heard somebody say Glen Johnson, and I turned around and I saw this lovely, beautiful young lady, and I said, "Hello." You don't recognize me? And I say, "Oh, now we done it." I said, I don't recognize you." That was kind of embarrassing, you know. She was. She used to come to my house. To my house. She used to attend conventions in Clarendon at my neighbor's house. She knew my mother, she knew my father, three brothers.
Wow.
She could tell me who I was. Idea. She would come to my house. She stayed at my house because she was next door. Never met her. Because most of the time at convention time, I that's all I do.
Too busy, too busy, too busy, too busy.
Yeah, it's just food and music.
Too much to take care
Too
of.
much.
No time to look
Yeah.
around and and to keep your sanctified eyes on music.
Looking around, see who
Keep
they
the
could see.
sanctified eyes on music. Stay focused.
Donald Bishop. But I know this was a beautiful young lady. I I I don't know what happened after that though. I think I went back.
You're drifting off camera. You're drifting off camera a
I'm
little
drifting
bit.
off
So
camera. Oh Lord. Uh, how is that?
if you can come a little bit more, pull around a little bit more. You're drifting off a little bit.
Okay. All right. How is that?
All right, that's better.
Yeah, we'll fix this next time.
We're gonna get the brother back the next time when he has his instrument. He promised the whole gamut. He's gonna lay it down. He's gonna make up for what we lose tonight. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Okay. So I asked this lady her name.
Now your head is down a little bit too much. So so I want to see a little bit more your shoulder coming up. There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
There you
all
go.
right.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that.
All right. Keep it like that.
Okay. I realized then she told me who she was, and this lady. So I by talking to her, I realized that. So I invited her to come to the School of Music. We were putting on at the school. It was a what do you call uh, it? It was an opera called, and so I invited her to come down and see the opera, and she said fine. And we went and she enjoyed it. And we every now and again I would pass and say hi, and became good friends. And
So now you start to look off a little bit, right? Start to look off a little bit. No, not. I'm talking about with the young lady, not with the camera right now.
with the camera.
No, the camera is fine. I'm talking about looking off with the young lady because now you're getting.
Oh, so I think maybe I should leave that for part two.
Well, maybe we gonna get there. Maybe we're gonna get there part two, right? Because there's so much in the music part of it. So yeah, I'm interested to hear about that lady because she told me it was a long story, and it got to be a long story. So give us a little synopsis of that, and we can leave the entry for the next time.
Okay. All right. the young lady came from St. Andrew, way up St. Andrew Hill. Oh boy! But the long and short of it, the, after studying her for, my goodness, this lady is this. What do I say? She was so beautiful. Eventually, she became my wife. Let's put it like that. We can tell you the details of the story later on. Come
I'm
on
sure.
today.
Yeah, keep yourself in the center so we can see more of Glenn.
Okay.
Keep yourself at least right there. And just
Okay.
FYI, that lady that he's talking about, was my classmate from grade 1, 2, growing up. Okay, that young lady is talking about. We went to school together, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, coming up 5. Okay, so all right,
Wow.
we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about that later on. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
Uh, so
And by the way, my friends, I didn't know who Glenn married to until last week. Last week I realized. Last week I realized Glenn married to my little classmate. I just realized that. Just realized that last week.
yeah, that was a
Out of,
surprise.
out of the blue. Out of the blue. That was a shocker. I'm still trying to absorb that.
Yeah. What?
All right, so this beautiful lady got you distracted, and what happened?
Yeah. So I said that, I asked for her hand in marriage. Those days, I was a really, really serious guy. I wasn't into running around and, stuff like that. I wanted to settle down. And what better lady to settle down than this lady, Norda Martin Advertising.
Narda Martin was one of the smart girls, one of the bright. We need to call people smart. We used to call them bright.
Bright.
We used to call them bright. When in my young days, we call them bright, not smart. She was one of the bright girls in the class. One of the bright girls in the class. Okay. I never forget that. Okay, I never forget that. Um, does she play anything?
Yeah, she used to play the guitar, but then she started in the family thing, and then she put the guitar down. Because I was helping her with the guitar, and but
Wow.
hopefully soon she was now we have reached retirement age, so she has
Oh.
a little more time on her hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. When we come on next time, I get a chance to hear a little bit of her side of the story. Hopefully, we get a little piece, and the other side when we get her back, so we can talk to Norda Martin, now Johnson, my little classmate. Now we are all grown up senior adults. Amazing.
Oh.
Give God thanks for goodness, mercy, and grace. All right, my friends, I'm talking to Glen Johnson. As everybody know Glen Johnson. Everybody know Glen Johnson. If you say Glen Johnson, if you're in the Church of God of Prophecy and you say Glen Johnson, especially anywhere in the Caribbean, and you say Glen Johnson, hey, everybody know who that is. They know who you're talking about. I mean, Glen Johnson, the Church of God of Prophecy, is like the Prime Minister of Jamaica. We talk about music. Music is like the Prime Minister of music or the President of music. And all the guys know that, the guys are they I remember when we went to when I can remember Glenn more than anything else is when we went to 41 Old Harbor Road.
Okay,
when we
okay.
started having convention at 41 Old Harbor Road. And
Yeah,
any day they like Tony and uh David and all of the
yeah.
guys will announce, hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? Glenn gonna be here Thursday or Glenn gonna be here Friday. Listen, everybody is because by that time you weren't in Jamaica, right? So tell us about the
By the time.
when did you leave Jamaica? Uh, how did your life go after that? In the
Yeah,
what's the transition? How did the transition happen?
the transition. Okay. I was with Grace Chillers. I was the chairman for Grace Chillers. I was the first for the group, and we
So
had our office.
you were actually chairman for the Grace Thrillers.
Yeah, I was the chairman for the group. I was the music director for the group, writer as well. So
Wow,
yeah,
wow,
so I did all my job harmonies and the music arrangements, stuff like that. Yeah,
wow.
so came in to the office. Um, somebody from the Bahamas. So they put me onto the person. And she said she's calling education of the Bahamas, and they got word that I'm a music teacher, and if I wanted a position, um, but at that time I was in Denham Town, at Denham Town High School. I was teaching music. I was running Church of God of Prophet Music. I was running Grace Triller's music, and it was down to a frazzle. And then by then I was a married man too, so it's a lot pulling on me. So you
Man,
know what?
man.
So I am going to take 1 year off from the group, and the year finished. I sent in my resignation letter. I'm leaving, and they said they would not have any of that for me coming back to Jamaica. So I promised them, and that's it. I'm done. That second year, and I say I'm
So you
leaving
so you thought you were gonna go to the Bahamas and do 1 year and then leave and
and
come
come
back?
back to pick up back Grace Thrillers.
You know, in Jamaica we call that was kind of ambitious, right? That was kind of
Oh my God, they really love me, and they say anything you want, anything will keep you here.
wow.
Yeah,
So
and
they so
because
they,
the
so they, so
relation.
they bribe you to hold you in Bahamas.
Yes, I turned into
I'm,
two.
I'm gonna say the Bahamian. I'm gonna say the Bahamians bribe Glenn to keep him in the Bahamas.
Oh man, they love me. They love me. They love me so much. So then I started spread out in the community. So everybody kind of get to know me in the in the and I was doing a lot of stuff with at least one of the gospel groups here, sessions, and so I got deeper and deeper. Till I couldn't.
Wow.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
year
So,
which year did you get married?
1980,
1980.
and so 85. From 85, I left.
Okay, you left 85. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Because I remember when I
yeah.
heard that Glen Johnson was leaving Jamaica. It's like everybody's heart were broken. Everybody were confused.
Wow.
How could Glen Johnson leave Jamaica? How could Glen Johnson leave? With
Yeah.
I mean, the minds couldn't digest or couldn't what's the word, understand or I dissect that, couldn't figure out how could Glen Johnson leave Jamaica, go to the Bahamas. We couldn't figure that out.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
And
because
so
the
from
company
85 until now,
until
you've been in
now,
the Bahamas.
until now.
My goodness, it's
Wow.
like Roots and Naomi. Where the goes, I'll go. Where you
Yeah.
lodge, I'll lodge. Where you die, I'll die.
Oh my goodness. It was not my my plan to stay in the Bahamas. It was never, but I guess that's how God had it worked out. Have
Wow,
been a real blessing to the Bahamian community. As a matter of fact, I won the first Marlin Award for foreign contribution in the Bahamas.
wow.
Yeah. So they really appreciate me. A lot of Bahamians, if I don't speak out like in Jamaican language, that I'm not a Bahamian. Because they said I look like certain yeah, and then my name is Johnson. I have a lot of Johnsons here.
Yeah,
So
I just sure
yeah.
not. It's not a pigment of their imagination or just a wishful thinking or a desire. That's how Bahamas is
Oh
watching.
my goodness.
Okay, Nassau Bahamas is watching it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
whoever is watching Nassau Bahamas, we're still holding it against you. We are still holding it against the Bahamas for bribing our musician away from Jamaica. We're still holding it against you.
Oh my goodness.
There was a song in Jamaica said the war. Somebody sang and said the war between me and them policemen just can't over. He said, don't me put on me tool and a cool, me still gonna remember, so.
My goodness. Yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. Man, I am so excited to have Glen Johnson with me tonight, my friends. We started 1 hour late than we planned and we wanted to have a good presentation of music and skills and all that Glenn had to offer. We couldn't get the technicalities part of it, and you can see his camera is shaking because we couldn't even get his official system to get connected with the proper audio and video. So we have to be improvising to do a little something as opposed to not having anything. So everything is on the drag tonight, and but we want to give you something as opposed to let the night go blank. And I'm sure you learned something about the brother, and I'm learning a lot about that I didn't know in his early days. And here we are tonight. But he promised he's gonna come back and give you the whole 9 yards. I promise
Yeah.
you're gonna hear the man gifts and talents. If you never hear Glen Johnson play, you can come back the next time and you will hear Glen Johnson play. And the man is a master of music. I didn't know you play so many instruments. How many pieces you play?
Um, I do a little bit of the cello. Yeah, then I do organ as well. Organ.
Well, that's kind of the piano generation, but
Yeah.
the organ a little bit more. Do you play the pedals, legs, bass at the foot and all of that stuff too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The whole 9 yards.
Right. And then
I should even ask that. I should even ask that. Strike that from the question. I should even ask that.
Oh goodness. Wow. So I used to play bass for Marjorie Wiley. Yeah.
Oh wow.
The bass.
Mhm.
Yeah, I used to play that too.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
You're drifting again to your left there
Oh
too
my
much, so or to your
goodness.
right, whichever one. So we're gonna keep you in the middle for the rest of the time that we have here. But
Right.
oh my God! All right, so you've been teaching in the Bahamas.
And I work with several churches. Most people I'm not just prophecy, but the entire community. Um, they
So
Bethel Church, I played for them.
so now you're a non-denominational guy, right? So
Yeah, yes. The Baptist people know me. I worked with them for a while too, and all around. I have people from all over. Just this week, a lady, I remember you 30 years ago. You played for my wedding.
whoa,
Yes. And so I've done a whole different
wow.
from the Girl Guides Association. I played for them, my community activities. People know me, and people know me from the immigration department because I work with the immigration choir. I
So you so
fully
you so
spread up
you're in the Bahamas what going 39 years now?
at 30 something. I can't remember, but
85 to know like about 39.
yes, yes.
Wow. Well, time has flown, and I mean, you left Jamaica when I was, before I get into pastoral work. If you left at 85,
Yeah.
I get into pastoral work right after that. So and I've been there, boy. I've been there. It's been a long time. Oh my goodness.
Hey.
So we're what Glen Johnson does now. You say you have not retired yet.
Okay.
So what is Glen Johnson doing now?
Well, okay. I think we should go before that because Jamaica, but I didn't really, really leave Jamaica
All right. Well, give
because
us give us a give us an
you heard of
insight in that.
you remember Lorraine Williams?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. She preached
Right.
at my church up in New York here, where I pastor. She preached up in New York not too a few years
Oh,
ago.
okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So I wrote because she used to sing with the I had her do a song. I can't remember what the name of the song was. She did the song that year, and so when I moved to the Bahamas, her and I said, you know what, I'm gonna produce her, and they left.
Oh.
One of the ladies that I put in Grace Triggers before I left was Car. I did the first album with her before I left Jamaica. Right after I left Jamaica, then I took on Loreen, that big album we called Persuaded.
Persuaded.
And
I
so I
am
wrote
persuaded. Yeah, remember that.
the songs on that album.
Oh, you wrote that song?
Yes, I wrote that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you see, I didn't know all that. I didn't know
You
all
see,
that. Wrote it, played and produced it.
right, right. All the songs on
Wow.
that was my whole production.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So the people listen. I wrote the songs, and some of the songs, even some of the Grace Thriller songs, people didn't know those songs. You know, people hear the song like "Ain't Giving Up" by Grace Thriller.
I ain't gonna giving up. I gotta
And
hold
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. That's
So
breaking. That's news to me. That's really news to me. That is really news to me.
oh yeah. So of course I was working those days with Dean Fraser and
Yeah, I remember Dean.
Nambo,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
for instance Jackie Willisey.
The master of saxophone. We know that.
Yeah. And so
Because if Glen Johnson worked with him, he had to be really, really good too.
yeah, so like the song so like Ain't No Giving Up. If you limit, that was my very first horn arrangement. Um and Dean and Nambo and Jackie Willisey. So that was the first record in Jamaica
Swing
with
yourself,
a
swing
horn
yourself back,
section.
swing yourself back to the middle. There. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
Lord.
Stay in the
Sorry,
middle.
go
Stay in
again.
the middle.
All right.
Stay in the middle. All right. Don't run off the road. Stay in the middle.
Oh, no. Yes. Yes. So I did Loreen after that. It was still felt in Jamaica. Yeah, and I did some work with this Westmoreland Junior Woolery. I don't know if you know of him.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Yeah, but I
Mm-mm.
work on his product as well. So I was doing stuff, but now in the Bahamas, I am not in the regular school system, of course, um, but I own thing. I teach music
Keep,
from
keep,
home
keep,
and I
keep,
teach online.
keep your eyes on your camera. Keep your eyes on your camera. We are losing you. Your head is
Oh,
going down. So keep your eye on the camera so we can see
wow.
where you are.
Can
What
you
you
see me
see is
now?
what we see. The better than that.
Oh, let me.
Nope.
Oh, if I can find this angle.
Okay, that's where you need to stay.
Okay. Well, I do apologize, everyone. Fix this next time.
My
So
friends,
yeah.
we are making shifts so you can hear some of Glenn's story, right? So we apologize for all of the shaking and all of the drifting. It's just that we rather to give you something than nothing. So, it's a price to pay. So hang in there with us.
Mhm. So right now I'm teaching music and I'm also producing.
So
Um,
you're a big time producer. You're a big time producer. That's what you're doing now. So every day you're in studio now and stuff like that. Playing,
I don't know what the
writing,
big time
producing.
part of it.
Playing, writing, producing.
Yeah, writing and producing and teaching.
Playing, writing, teaching, producing. My
Right,
goodness.
producing. Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff still going on.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have some. I have a new album. Because I do have a Christmas album out. I don't know if it got, but it's there, and I'm coming out with a new
That's
instrumental.
music.
It's going to be just music. You may hear a couple of voices here and there, but it's going to be mainly instrumental music.
Wow.
Out for that one.
Wow. So you're not going quiet at all.
No,
You're
no,
still
no.
pulling
I will
you're
go out
still pulling a pretty heavy
with my
load.
boots on. Yeah.
How old are your children now?
How old? My good. My first daughter is now, I think she's 40 now, 38.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
So
how many children you have?
3.
Three.
Yeah, I have 2 girls and a boy. He's in the US, and the 2 girls are here. Um,
Okay.
yeah, very, very, very well. My oldest daughter plays, and I told her I'm going to be just like her.
You told her you're gonna be just like her.
But she got a double portion.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. Well that's well I draw back on that one. If somebody got a double portion of what you got, then I cringe to listen to that. Wow.
Oh, does really, really well.
What she plays.
She plays keyboards.
Okay.
She's a keyboard extraordinaire, and she's really
Wow.
anointed for that.
Wow.
I don't know if you know Wade Johnson. You ever heard of Wade? Maybe
Sound a little familiar, but
not.
I'm not sure.
My brother's son. He got a triple portion.
Who?
He got a triple portion of what I got.
Your son?
My nephew.
Your nephew have got a triple portion.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what that can look like. I don't know what that can look like or sound like.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah. So
What?
it just tell me that he works in families. The gifts that he gives. So that's why families are so important.
Is that triple portion have to do with advanced technology, software resources, technicalities are just raw skill,
skill, talent, talent,
talent, skill,
talent.
raw.
And then he's into the producing business and the whole works.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Wow.
so the when we, as for me, part of my aim for a long time, I want to be a part of whatever he's doing in the world, so I committed what God gave me to him. It wasn't, but I use it to give him glory. And my job is to use my music to create an atmosphere for worship. I so I when I go to church first to get there, and I'm going to be the last to leave. That's part of my portfolio. I was
Wow.
there to create an atmosphere.
I wish I had you at my church. First to get there, last to leave, man.
Yeah, first to read, last to leave. Yeah,
Wow.
I always I have the key.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
God bless you,
So
man. You've been doing this a long time, boy, and to be still dedicated and committed the way you are, that is phenomenal.
oh yeah, oh yeah. But I promise the people who are online tonight that I'm going to be playing the next time. Look out for the flyer for the next one, and we have a really really good. Then I can go to town. I can give the reels and be able to play. And
Look out, my friends. Look out for the next time when you see I put up a flyer that we have in Glen Johnson coming on. We're gonna make sure that everything is crisp and clear. You're gonna get the beat. You're gonna get the keys, and you're gonna get it all. And the fingers and the skills of this man, they are, well, he's telling me now. He's telling me now that his daughter and his nephew got double and triple portion of what he's got. I don't know what that sound like. I can't even use my imagination of
yeah.
what that might be like. So maybe he's gonna have to prove that to me one time by bringing them on and say let's go for a contest and see who's gonna make the keyboard scream and say please help me.
I will be dead last.
Oh my God! Oh my! You be dead last. I am
Yeah,
not I am not buying it. I am not buying it. I think old age is getting in your head. I think old age is getting in your head.
oh my
I
god.
think you're getting lost by youth. Think that they but I don't know. I don't know. I will reserve my judgment on that one.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
So tell our listeners when we'll be back.
I'm glad that we could do a hour and a half with the and I must compliment you for being able to hold your camera for an hour and a half. Although you drift sometime, but boy, holding a camera is no joke. So it
It's
tells me
no
that you
joke.
still have good nerve. Your nervous system is still good. That's one thing.
Yeah. Oh my
Wow.
god.
Wow. Wow, man. I'm gonna take one little break and come back because I want my friends to know and those who are listening that I have my book that's called "Don't Judge Me by My Scars or Hold Me Hostage to My Past." Gonna be released in July 16. It's gonna be released in July 16. Everybody need to read that book. Don't judge me by my scars or hold me hostage to my past. Hang in there, let me play this. I come right back, my friends, and let Glenn give you the wrap up. Stay right there till we come back. All right, so that is two of my books, two books, the Seven Churches of Asia Minor, the Church in Revelation, and the one to be released on July 16th, my spiritual birthday, July
Wow.
16th, and then July 19th is my real birthday. So I got two birthdays coming up, the 16th and the 19th. I'm releasing the book on the 16th for my ninth for my birthday on the 19th. Everybody need to read that book. If you have ever been judged by your scars or held hostage to your past, you need to read that book. If you have ever judged somebody and hold them hostage to their past, you need to read that book. That book will bring healing and hope to you, whether you have been judged or you have judged somebody. So, hey, it's going to be released July 16 on Amazon, and following that, anywhere books are sold. And before that, if you're in the United States, you can get a copy from me on the 7th of this month, the 8th, because I'm going to get the author's copy right off the block before it's released. So stay connected. Glenn is playing music, I'm writing books, so we're gonna minister one way or the other. All right. Good to have you, my friend. Good to have you, my friend. I'm sorry we couldn't get it more audible and clear like we wanted to. Sorry I didn't get to talk to your beautiful wife, nor to my little classmate from what do you call it, junior one, grade 1, 2, 3. One of these days we're gonna talk about that. But what's your last word? What's your last word before we say goodbye tonight?
Right. I must thank person. He is one of the top musicians. He was helping me to get prepared for the for we had a very difficult time. He's preparing for the Bahamas no independence. That's 40 what?
You're drifting again. You're drifting again.
51.
You're drifting again. You're
Oh,
drifting again.
the 50,
Here you go. Here you go.
50 right 4 years. So he is now the government is using him tonight, and so he couldn't be here with me.
Mhm.
But it's so good when you live good. So even though um we sometimes we're on the other track, but I can call and they'll come. So tonight I have with me Colin McDonald, that's extraordinary, and he is here with me tonight. He was trying his call him at last minute to come and help us. So he was here. And, he took the night. I told him he can't go home. He got to make sure I'm all right and the whole time. And I must thank you, Colin, man. Oh my goodness, it's good to have good friends. To have so many of you out there, I can see who is out there. But I want to thank you for tuning in. I did not get to play it, but trust me, the next time I come on, I will come back the next time. And I promise you, it is going to be up to you. Yeah.
He's gonna have to compensate your faithfulness. Okay, he's gonna have to compensate your faithfulness for watching the shaking camera and the drifting Glen right now. He's gonna be stable playing, and we're gonna be able to see his fingers as they play as well. We're gonna make sure we have a camera on his fingers so you can see and hear what he's doing. That's the plan when he comes back, to give it to you the whole 9 yards, the full gamut as he calls it.
Yeah. So I want to thank you also, Doc, for inviting. Wow. I am just so sorry everything together the way I had it planned. But next time,
You know what they say. They say the thing that you can't change is not your problem. It's a fact of life. It's a reality, and so you gotta figure out how to navigate through it or around it, but keep on going forward.
yeah,
We did all the
right.
best. We did all we could, and we could have said, listen, we gotta call it off, but then we wouldn't even get what we got shaken tonight. So I believe that a slice of bread is better than no bread.
Right.
Okay,
You said
so
it. You said it.
so So we will take the slice of bread until the full bread comes. We'll take that until the full bread comes. So we anticipate. So stay connected to ORB Ministries, and when I make a post, say who's going to be on my next program, when Glenn shows up again, please make sure we have it all nailed. Right?
Can you hear my
He's going to
piano
make.
at all?
Huh?
Can you hear my piano at all?
If I can hear what?
My piano.
You're playing it now?
Yes.
No, because we
Okay.
heard when you were using the other system, not the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, we were hearing it through the other system, and
Yeah.
I know we really want to do, unless if you guys still there, and you want to transition to the keyboard and make you play something on the
No,
keyboard, then
we'll wait.
we're gonna leave it there. We don't want no more trouble, right? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it. Make sure you come back for the real thing.
We're gonna keep the hungry hearts waiting.
Yes. Or we're not gonna keep them too long.
Thank you for joining me, and please give a shout out to your friends who have been so committed to trying to help you, although we didn't get it how we wanted it. One at a time we were hearing the keyboard and the music behind, but we couldn't get the microphone. When we get the microphone, we weren't getting the keyboard. So we're gonna get them all together, that they unite as friends. So we hear them all three. All right. So the next time I'm looking forward to, make sure subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, TikTok. By the way, we do RB Ministries on TikTok as well. If you do TikToking, check me out. You might find some that is inspiring to you. Until the next time, we're gonna look forward to seeing you again. Give a shout out to my friend and your children, Glenn, and all your neighbors. And tell you great musicians. One of these days, I maybe hope to have them on my program to see how good they are, so I can do my own assessment.
All right.
All right.
To all my listeners.
So you're gonna stay tuned. You're gonna stay right there. Let me tell everybody it's goodbye. Then we can go off like how we came on.
Right. Okay. Nope.
All right,
Okay.
my friends. So thank you again for watching. Again, we apologize for the shaking and the dragging the sound, but I'm sure you could have heard what the brother was saying, and I'm sure you learned something about him tonight that you didn't know before. Stay tuned when he comes back. We're gonna do it all over again. Until next time, this is another Let's Talk with the Doc. I'll see you again. And by the way, if you have a story that you want to share, don't be afraid to make contact with me. Or email me at orbministers@gmail.com. I'd love to air and to hear your story as well. God bless you. Stories are inspirational and they are life-changing. See you again on another Let's Talk with the Doc. Well, thank you for checking in on ORB Ministries. I trust that you will share with your friends, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, and stay tuned, because you never know what's next or who will join the conversation.